So hello, and welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and also support my small business at latricelimited.com. I also want to show you guys what my website looks like. So this is latricelimited.com. I have an array of items from like different little gift sets. This is the gentleman's collection, at least part of it anyways. I have bath bombs, soaps, essential oil blends. I have them in roller balls and in droppers as well. I have mini body butters over here. Those are perfect for on the go, and cute little gift sets over here. So also just feel free to support the channel. Feel free to also support me. And now let's get into the video. So we're actually going to be reading an article, and I'm going to show it to you guys right now. And it says nearly 5,000% increase in seized fentanyl laced pills in the U.S. between 2018 and 2021. Okay, so we're going to get right into it. It says a new study found that the number of illicit pills containing fentanyl seized by United States law enforcement jumped a whopping 48.50% between 2018 and 2021. According to the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration data, more than 42,000 fentanyl-laced pills were seized in 2018, and nearly 2.1 million were seized in 2021. Fentanyl can be found in counterfeit versions of drugs such as oxycodone and hydrocodone. The rise in fentanyl seizures parallels a fatal overdose crisis driven by synthetic opioids. The National Institute of Drug Abuse funded this study and said that when a pill is contaminated with fentanyl, it's often the case of poisoning can easily happen. I also wanted to... So that's this, and we'll be going back and forth with this. But I wanted to give you this little tidbit that I read. And it says right here in the highlighted part, it says fentanyl is a highly addictive drug and can become lethal. It's 80 to 100 times more potent or stronger than morphine. And if someone takes too much of the drug, not knowing the amount that's in those pills, they could easily overdose. The risk of overdosing is very high with fentanyl compared to other drugs. So this is an important part. This is what I'm referring to when I made another video about fentanyl and whatnot, how a kid, I think he was around 14, how he actually overdosed on it, and it was because, he was cleaning up his uncle's drug lab. So this is something that I'm noticing more often. I mean, you're having people who are lacing their drugs, whether it be like heroin, cocaine, whatever kind of drugs they have out there now. They're lacing the stuff with this. And as it has said, if people don't know, I mean, it could be 80 to 100 times, more addictive. And for people who don't know that, hey, my stuff got laced, I mean, who's asking like, hey, do you have some coke that's laced with fentanyl? I mean, you wouldn't know until, you take the stuff essentially, and if you don't know, you could possibly die from this kind of stuff. And I mean, there's this one YouTube video, or I guess channel, that I watch, and it's up in Philadelphia, and you see people who are just, and a lot of them are homeless, I think, if not all of them are, and they're just wandering around the streets, and they're literally just like zombies. It's like when you look at them, and the guy who's recording it, he's just driving in his car and he's just recording it. He's going around the block, and you see people who, like, they're literally just like, and it's like they can't stand up, and if they're sitting down, they're doing some crazy stuff. And people, like, just looking at the surrounding area, there's a lot of places, like, I think it was like Cricket Wireless was over there, as well as some other places. And these Metro PCS, and there's so many places that are just like, they're either closed or run down. And when you look around at the other people there, most people, I mean, all the people that are there really are either on the drugs. If you see anyone else, it's like a rarity to see really anyone else compared to how many other people, because nobody wants to be around that. Like I said, it's addictive. They look like zombies. I mean, if you look at, just look. So just judging from this and how many more pills were seized, it says 42,000 fentanyl laced pills were seized in 2018 and nearly 2.1 million in 2021. And this goes to the problem. People are getting on this stuff more often. You know, people found out like, ooh, we could get people on these pills. We could stretch out our peer stuff and we could get these people addicted. Ooh, and if they're addicted, we'll be getting more money because they're going to want to get more of it. And this is the problem. You know, what could be a solution to it? Could they decriminalize the pills? Could they decriminalize drugs and not have it so like, oh, if you get it now you gotta go to jail? Yeah, but how necessarily would that work? I know you have like some public health programs that do like clean needle clean needle exchanges, for example. But I mean that wouldn't work for pills, obviously. But something like that. I don't know how I necessarily feel about that. I get it. If you're gonna do it anyways, you might as well do it in a clean, sanitary way. But at the same time, it's kind of, and I remember hearing about this, it's kind of giving you the okay. Like it's okay for you to be, you know, taking these pills that's laced with fentanyl. It's okay for you to be addicted to drugs. We're okay with that. We know you're going to do it, so you might as well do it anyways. I think there needs to be some more mental health, even drug addiction programs that are easily and readily available for the public, not just for people who have insurance, not just for people, you know, who are, you know, so rich. You know, it needs to be readily available. And it needs to be a serious program that is outlined like, okay, we're going to really get you clean. And then not just get you clean, but try to set you up for work. Try to do this, but make it readily available. Put it in these communities. Get these people off the streets. You know, this also goes with the whole homeless situation. I made a video about it when I was talking about the Oscars, for example, and, you know, the money that's involved with it and all the people that are over there and how much money they have, you know, and it's like, get the people off the streets, get them cleaned up, and get them ready so that they can have some kind of life after. Not just like, okay, we'll get you off the streets, we'll get you cleaned up, but job-wise, yeah, that's not, we don't have anything to do with that. You know, so I feel like there needs to be some more support going on with these people so that we can try to prevent this, so that we're not having people get addicted to this stuff. And there needs to be a crackdown on this kind of stuff. Where are these drugs coming from? You know, you even have, even in the same realm of when you have like guns, for example, where are the guns coming from? How are they getting into communities? Where are the drugs coming from? How are they getting in the community? It's the same kind of thing. And I feel like anytime you ask that question, it's just like I don't know, you know, and it's like, well, that's a problem, you know, because I'm pretty sure guns are not just flying in the air and then just randomly dumping in, like, you know, the more poor communities, you know. So I feel like there really needs to be something done about this, because this is really getting out of hand. And I mean, it's killing people. People are literally dying from this. But then again, people were dying, you know, when we had the crack cocaine, you know, epidemic. You know, we had, you know, a whole bunch of black people that were dying about it, dying because of it. And it was just like, oh, okay, well, you know, black people dying. But now that I notice, and I'm just being real, now that I'm noticing it's more of the opioid epidemic, and now white people are dying, now it's like, okay, we really have to talk about this. But when black people were dying, it was like yeah, I mean, we could talk about it, but, you know, I mean, no one told them to take the drugs. But now it's pushed to white people more so now that we're seeing. And now, because it's the opioid epidemic, before it was just, oh, they on crack, black people on crack. Now it's like, oh, white people, we're on opioids now. Now we got to get them clean. We got to get them off the streets. But the system is so messed up, you don't even know how to do that, you know? And when I say you, I'm referring to the government. You know, you're okay with pumping guns and drugs into, you know, black neighborhoods and making sure that they get them. But now it has slowly went over to white people. And then now it's like, well, I don't know what to do. We weren't expecting this, and then now it's a huge problem. All in all, everyone needs to be clean of these drugs. How exactly is that going to work? I don't know. I do have some ideas, but that'll be for another video. But yeah, I mean, everyone needs to be clean of these drugs, no matter what you look like. You know, whatever you guys do, I don't care. Okay, I don't care about your gender, whatever. Everyone needs to be clean of these drugs because they're so addictive and deadly. But that's pretty much what I have for this video. And until then.